Hello, dear friends. This is TV project Conversations about the Eternal with Natalia Vladimirovna Rodina. Natalia Vladimirovna Rodina is a psychologist, researcher of abnormal states of consciousness, parapsychologist, academician of technological science of Ukraine, head of the Personality Development Center at the Academy. For many years, Natalia Rodina has been studying human consciousness, the anomalies of its manifestations in our difficult times. In the International Personality Development Center, founded by Natalia Rodina 13 years ago, students from 45 countries of the world undergo training, spiritual and personal development. Natalia Rodina is forming a new global planetary community of highly spiritual people. The unique knowledge and methods that Natalia Rodina's students receive are especially important for the happiness and health of people, the development of their true nature and capabilities. Hello, Natalia Vladimirovna. Hello. I'm very glad to meet you. We talk so much on television about the processes that people are living through now. More and more people on the planet are now noting that society has divided into two different parts: people in spiritual development and people who unfortunately are not so optimistic and do not see the future that awaits them. How long will the planet go through such difficult stages and hardships? I can say that the next 5 years will be years that will require from each person even greater awareness and understanding of themselves in this life. For people who will undergo certain difficulties, troubles, problems, illnesses, this will be such a reboot that will create a new understanding of life for them. And many people will ask themselves questions: why do I live? Who am I in this world? Why am I given this life? And now I'm standing at my deathbed. Is that all? Is that where it all ended? And by asking themselves such questions, many people will be reborn to life, and they will continue their lives, but in a completely different state. I can say that this reboot is needed by many people, and is needed only so that people correctly evaluate themselves in this life, understand their position in life. Yes, in this society, in the next 5 years, and even 10 years, we can say even so, but the next 5 years will be very hard, where even more social strata will be distinguished: the society of people in search, conscious people, and the society of people insane, terrified, in fear, in a crazy state, seeking salvation, but it will never be. And many people will actually go into serious depression, aggression, panic attacks, and so on. In principle, we are already seeing all this, but this process will intensify, to my great regret. And only in 10 years there will be a little, let's say, a more conscious understanding. A society will be divided not only in its worldview, but even territorially. People will be divided. And those who are calm and conscious will live comfortably with those who are calm and conscious, and those who are aggressive will really boil in their cauldron, so to speak. Yes, these years must be, because humanity lived the entire period of its evolution unconsciously. People lived for their own pleasures, seeking only pleasures, some benefits, material values. But now society understands that having material values does not mean having happiness, health, etc. Therefore, the coming years of life are necessary for this planet. There is a quantum transition, and this is a natural process when a new race of people is being forged, conscious ones. And the unconscious race of people goes into reincarnation, where they can start a new life. Some people consider the processes that are taking place on the planet as a projection of the film Armageddon, when such shake-ups and hardships are really needed in order for something new to be born. What new things are waiting for this planet during the period that you just spoke about, Natalia Vladimirovna? New technologies, artificial intelligence will of course conquer a certain level of human life and fill a certain level of consciousness and social life. And we already see it. Quantum computers will be the norm, and they will be in every person's home. There will be one unified system that will control all this information and energy processes on the planet. In general, we can say that everything will be known about everyone, and each person will be completely transparent in this new difficult time. Open psychic abilities will allow people to treat each other differently, and over time, people seeing each other's thoughts, having extrasensory abilities that are now massively awakening in the minds of people, will come to the conclusion that it is no longer disgracefully to deceive because they still see you as you really are inside. And probably it is these abilities that will enable the planet to move to a new level of development, evolution, where humanity will become more correct, more conscious, striving, more honest and pure. And such a society will create a completely different life on this planet. Over time, social life will be directed only to the creation and development of people. The coming years will bring many changes, and the process of change will be so fast and effective that every year a person living a year of his life and looking back will say, "Wow, how everything has changed." You are talking about a new community. I cannot but say that it is you as a scientist, academician and spiritual teacher who are forming the new community. Students from 45 countries of the world, these are thousands and thousands of people who are studying with you at the International Center for Personal Development. Natalia Vladimirovna, this new community will be the people who will create this new world and lead to such harmony that is so much talked about but little felt. Yes, I think it will, it already is. This community of conscious, evolved people around the world is evidence that people are awakening. But I can say that I am not the only one on this planet who is doing such work of developing human consciousness. I can say that in the future such communities will unite and create one single system of life, a new world. And this new world will prosper, and it will be the new leading society on the planet. And now we already see it, because our students are already different people. They are different from ordinary people. They behave differently in life. They buy food and treat life differently. They greet each other differently. They feel differently. I can say that these are already superhumans, because they have psychic abilities that can be directed to the creation of their social life, their families. 13 years of your activity is not easy work. It is a huge and large-scale work on the development of people. You not only taught many people how to live in a new way, these people were born again. They are full-fledged, healthy, successful people. Natalia Vladimirovna, it seems that the more hardships there are on the planet, the more people are looking for a way to save themselves and come to spiritual development. Even today, they do not say that this is a sectarian trend. Everyone understands that this is energy that, properly accumulating, you need to learn how to apply in your life. Let's talk about spiritual development. To what extent is this direction on the planet being carried out correctly today by all those who are representatives of these directions? How can a person find his teacher? I think that teachers are chosen by the soul. The soul will always respond, it will always say and give instructions and directions. A person will feel his teacher, and first of all, he will feel complete trust in the teacher. This is the resonance. And if the student enters into resonance with his teacher, then the choice was made correctly. As for other communities, I can say that each of the communities chooses its own directions. On the planet, development goes in three directions. Some develop and contribute to the development and restoration and the expansion of the possibilities of consciousness and the intellectual aspect. Other spiritual directions are engaged in the development of only the energy component of humans. We unite all three aspects and open to people a new understanding of life, eternal life, a life where a person will live and fully control his aspects of life. We reveal to people the greatest secrets and truth. If the two previous directions are narrowly directed towards a person, then our direction is large-scale, and it includes absolutely all aspects of human evolutionary development. Ultimately, a person reaches the highest status. He is born as a child of God, the Creator. He reveals the nature of the Paradise Father in himself. He himself becomes a creator, and already the creator of this life, learns to manage the events of his life, and strivingly aims to create new projects of life. That is, this is a person who is integral in all aspects. He completely controls himself, his events, and his evolutionary process. This higher state enables a person to live on other, more developed planets. And it is no longer a secret that there are alien life forms, there are other more developed planets, and many of our scientists strive to visit these planets. They are creating certain spaceships, devices that can explore these planets. But I can tell you that these planets are at a very great distance from the Earth, and a human being can move to this new level of life and development only due to his internal energy state of development. So, in the physical body, humans can only live on this planet, but they also have other bodies, subtle bodies, and having developed these subtle bodies, activating them, learning to control them, they can consciously live on other planets in a different, conscious state of life. Spiritual development means happiness. Spiritual development also means independent work. You give direction, knowledge and practice. You tune in. You energetically connect each person to yourself and for life. You do not divide students into former and current. You have students all over the world. These are those who once came and took forever your energy and attunement, now they accumulated it in themselves. Whether people then behave correctly in life is another question that everyone asks himself. I want to ask the following. Natalia Vladimirovna, many people have been watching your TV broadcasts for years, attending open seminars, and catching the opportunity to meet you even at this time, wherever you are, in different countries and cities. But they don't come to the training courses yet. Does this mean that such a person is already in spiritual development? What would you like to say to such people now? Jesus once said, every fruit needs time to ripen. If these people are not yet with us, and they do not have an inner desire, impulse, burning desire to be with us, then they are not yet ready for this knowledge. After all, you need to grow to knowledge. You need to correspond to a certain level in order to discover this knowledge in yourself. After all, knowledge opens superpowers in a person. If a person is not ready, he will watch these programs for years. Yes, there won't be any big changes in his life. Yes, there will be changes, but not so much that one could be a happy person. But it means that this time, in this life, this is enough for him. He is not ready for more. He is not yet ripe for more, like that fruit. This suggests that perhaps the seed that we sow in this life will be able to germinate in the next life. We have a lot of such people. The audience of people who watch our programs is huge. And you know, I see that even after watching our programs for several years, many people mature, understanding comes to them, and they ask to come to us and learn. They understand that they cannot live without it. You know, I would say that at first everyone tries, no matter how strange it may sound, to check us. People check how truthful we are, whether there is some kind of catch here, or maybe it's a sect, or maybe it's some kind of financial structure veiled as spirituality, or maybe it's something else. In general, there must be some kind of catch. And when years pass and they see from their reviews the results of our students listening to our programs that there is no catch, they go to study. They come to courses and discover for themselves the highest secrets and knowledge. And you know, these are some of my most beautiful and aspiring students. They checked me before they came to us, and that's great. Well, yes, it happens like this. I accept it. I absolutely accept. And accepting, I understand it. I understand how much deception there is now, and I see it. And I'm very hurt and sad that this deception exists. And many people are really very careful not to fall into some kind of religious structure and trap, which then creates destructive processes in their mind and the inner state of a person. Therefore, I understand you, my friends. I always understand you. Even when you scold our programs, I understand you too. I know you feel bad, that it's hard for you. If you were fine, you would not do it. Only those scolds who are hurt, who are the hardest, who himself cannot find a way out of some situations. Therefore, good luck to you. Find yourself in this life. Dear friends, first of all, I want to wish you will, strength, stability. I really want you to be able to find yourself in this difficult time. I really want you to be able to overcome all these difficulties and hardships of life that people need, first of all, so that people rethink their lives and themselves in this life. This is necessary in order for each person to set a goal for himself and come to this goal. These hardships are also necessary for the birth of a new society of developed, conscious people filled with love. I wish you to live in love, emit love, and be love. Believe in yourself as the Creator, the God, the Supreme Mind that shines within your souls. Happiness to you.